Welcome back to another Honkai Impact 3 video. It's your homie Cody GT, and in today's video, my boys, I wanted to go ahead and do a bit of a character breakdown / analysis of Cyberangel Bronya. Now, I wouldn't call this a character guide per se because I do want to go ahead and play with her a bit more and kind of get a better feel for her, but I thought it would be a good opportunity to go over her skill set, her weapons, and her applicable stigmatas, so you can get a better insight on whether you want to summon for her or not when she drops on August 15th on the global version. Now, with that being said, I'm sure you're going to go ahead and summon for her anyways because she's amazing, but let's go ahead, let's take a look at what she actually brings to the table. So if you enjoy the video today, you like what you see, go ahead and drop a like. It's greatly appreciated, it means a lot to me. And if you're new to the channel, you enjoy the content, you like what you see, go ahead and consider subscribing as we're on our way to 10,000 subscribers. Help us reach that major milestone. Join the family and remember to hit notification bells to stay notified every time I do upload a video, because my next one will be going over the Void Drifter Ranger Kiana augmented, so you don't want to miss that, so stay tuned. But in today's video, we are going to take a look at the Herrscher Bronya, Cyberangel Bronya, whichever you want to call her. They're all correct. Now, taking a look, she is going to be a mecha type, and as you can see from the grid, she is going to do amazing amount of damage as well as burst damage. She's going to have really good survivability. The support is not really going to be there because that's not what she really is all about. Now, her features is melee, gathers. Now, that word right there, I am going to butcher it, so I'm just going to call it charge. Gathers charge, can unleash multiple charge attacks to deal heavy range damage. Ultimate Usagi kinetic heavy bike that deals massive damage. You heard me pause there for a second. I probably still butchered it, but I did try my very best. If I can English, it's hard today. Primary roles: ice, freeze, and attract. Now, the ultimate, it is a bit of an essay, so bear with me, my boys. Burst transform of Project Bunny, 480 charge and deals 5 times 450% plus 800% attack of ice damage. Then ride Usagi kinetic as DEA Ryzen. I hope I said that right as well. Max duration 17 seconds. Usagi kinetic plus 40 charge per second while moving, creates a hover gun per 0.6 seconds that deals 4 times 65% attack of ice damage. Tap attack uses 240 charge to perform charge attack and deal 2 times 250% plus 2 times 300% attack of ice damage, and inflicts a 4-second analyze debuff. Tap evade, enemies hit by evasion move takes up to 4 times 10% attack of ice damage, and received an analyze debuff for 4 seconds. Cooldown 30 seconds. SP cost 125. So about that, my boys, got a notification, had to go ahead and make a quick jump cut. But what I was going to go ahead and go over is the ultimate has a lot of fluff around it, a lot of percentages, a lot of numbers. Basically what it really entails is that you will go into the motorcycle mode. In the motorcycle mode, you'll be able to use the charge attacks, which will do that spin for you, and then the evade button you can tap, which will do a bit of like a wheelie charge attack, and that is another way you can attack as well, and will create an analyze debuff, which is a skill that we'll go over here in just 1 second. Now, the leader skill, source protocol, the leader bonus, team gains 30% to all elemental damage. Any Bronya, Zele, or Olanievas in team also gains 25% total damage multiplier. So that is actually a really good leader skill, a great elemental leader for your elemental Valkyrie. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, this is the applicable formation, but of course you go ahead and make the team that works best for you or what you have on your account. Not everybody has the same Valkyries, not everybody has the same equipped Valkyries, so you put what you feel would be best. Now, for the equipment, obviously we have the applicable weapons and stigmata, so let's go ahead and go over them. Starting with the weapon first, we have the Key of Reason. Now, this is actually a really good weapon, not only for the weapon skill, which is fantastic, but also the passive skill. So starting with the universal blueprint, the charge cannon, first sequence single shot, second empowered double shot, third super powered triple shot. Wielder deals 20% more ice damage. That is really good. Logical construct, SP of 5, cooldown of 25 seconds. Unleash a constructor weapon attack that deals 300% plus 9 asterisk 45% plus 300% attack of ice damage. Final hit, freezes enemies for 3 seconds. After use, wielder attacks gain 35% total damage multiplier for 7 seconds. Herrscher Reason Equip bonus active skill inflicts 7 seconds analyze debuff on enemies. Casting the ultimate gives 5 SP. So it's a very low cost of only 5 SP to go ahead and unleash the weapon skill, and you get a lot of bonuses. So you would always want to go ahead and unleash the weapon skill, much like with God Kiana, how before you go ahead and do the snap and the ultimate, you definitely want to go ahead and drop down the weapon skill first, and then you want to go ahead and snap, and then you want to go ahead and do the ultimate. That's how you're going to get the max amount of damage out. Very similar in some retrospect. You want to definitely use the weapon skill. It's going to give you a lot of damage bonuses, and you're really going to see the damage output when you do it. So keep that in mind, my boys. Now, taking a look at the applicable Stigmata set, this is the Welt Yang set. Starting with the top, gains 11% total damage multiplier. Herrscher form gains 26% ice damage. So, of course, this is applicable. Now, keep in mind as well, the Herrscher Reason Cyberangel Bronya, I've heard, is pretty free to play, and with her being an elemental type of damage Valkyrie, there are really good elemental stigmas that you can go ahead and apply. So you don't necessarily have to go for the Welt Yang set specifically, but of course, if you do obtain it, it's really good. Go ahead and put it on her, and you're going to see some good benefits from it. Now, moving over to the mid, we have the Welt Yang mid, gain 11% ice damage. Every hit, cooldown 0.3 seconds on the enemy, causes it to take 0.4% more ice damage from the host for 5 seconds. Max stacks 10. Each stacks gain resets the duration. So that's a good mid set. Able to do more elemental damage right there. And then the Welt Yang bottom, gain 8% total damage multiplier. Gain a shield when freezing enemies and heal 20 HP for 10 seconds. Cooldown 15 seconds. Shield shatters when hit, but hosts will not be interrupted, which is a really good feature. Not being interrupted is actually really nice. Now, if we take a look at the set skills, the Tenacity 2 pieces, each 15 non-charge attack gives a charge attack buff. Next charge attack and following charge attack for 5 seconds gain 60% total damage multiplier. Count ends after the buff ends. Host directly gains charge attack buff when entering the battle. Triggers 1 time per battle. So if I'm not mistaken, it sounds as if the minute you go ahead and enter the battlefield, you're going to go ahead and have that charge attack buff. Now, every time you do your normal attacks, you're going to go ahead and buff your charge attack, and then at a certain point you use your charge attack, and it's going to really do some massive amount of damage. And that's actually really applicable to her playstyle and how you want to play her in the first place. So that's really awesome, and it kind of goes hand in hand with one of her skills. We'll go over that in just a second. Now, the 3-piece, the Anti-Entropy, gains 40% ice damage for 16 seconds after casting the ultimate. Charge attacks will generate a 3-second gravity vortex that pulls in nearby enemies, a cooldown of 4 seconds. So you're going to have a bit of a crowd control. You're going to be doing more ice damage, and your charge attacks will generate that 3-second gravity. So that's really good. I like it. I think this is a really good set for the Herrscher Reason Bronya. But of course, in the comments below, please let me know what you guys think about Stigmata sets that would be applicable to her, or if you think there's a better one. Please, in the comments below, go ahead and leave it there, and we can have a discussion going. And if you want to take it a step further, you can go ahead and join the Discord. Link is going to be in the description. You can go ahead and join the Discord and speak about the new version 3.3 update with like-minded people who enjoy Honkai Impact 3 as much as we all do. So, with that being said, that was a shameless plug for the Discord. Now, moving on to the skills. So, what I want to go ahead and do is start with the passive first, because that kind of leads into everything else. So, if we go over to the passive bonuses apply automatically. Another notification. I'm not going to go ahead and edit that out. We're just going to move past it. It never happened. So the charge max at 480, analyze a debuff. So this is the analyze debuff. Analyze enemies are frozen for 1.5 seconds. Character gains 40% total damage multiplier against analyze enemies. Exit DEA Ryzen ends. Bunny reverts to armored bunny state. So basically the analyze debuff is freezing the enemies for 1.5 seconds. And those frozen enemies, when they are in that frozen state, you gain 40% total damage multiplier. So that is fantastic. So having them frozen, getting that analyze debuff on them is what you want to go ahead and do to be able to do max damage. So starting with the 2-pass coding, of course this is locked behind the double S rank. Start with 240 more charge. That's always a good thing. You want to have as much charge as possible because that's how you're going to be able to do more charged attacks. That's great. Now the build reboot. When Usagi Kinetic reverts to Armored Bunny, character gains 240 charge. So when you go from the bike to the normal Project Bunny that you're used to seeing, you're going to gain an additional 240 charge. So that's good. Now also, if I do missay something, please leave it in the comments below, as well as forgive me, because this is really, I analyzed the skills and I went over them before doing this video, but I could miss something. It's very different when you start recording, so keep that in mind. No excuses, I'm just throwing that out there. Now, chilling build, charge attack deals 54% more ice damage. That's good. There's really simple. That's really awesome. Now, moving on to the special attack. So this is the weaponized build. This is for the charge attack. Perform charge attack during basic attack sequence or evasion. Basically tells you how to do it. Tap and hold attack button to spend 120 charge to turn into the DEA Ryzen Herrscher form. DEA Ryzen tap attack to unleash charge attacks. Armament build. Charge attack mode differs according to the weapon type, but deals a total of 660% attack of ice damage. So that's good. We have some more elemental damage going on there. Now, DEA Ryzen active attacks gain 30% total damage multiplier and another 40% total damage multiplier to psychic enemies. So that is a nice little tidbit right there if you are up against psychic enemies, which this is really great, because if you do not know, which you probably do if you've been playing Honkai for a while, but if you're a beginner, the mecha types do have a disadvantage against psychic types. So being able to do 40% more damage to a psychic type enemy kind of offsets that, makes it kind of null and void in a sense. So that is really good right there. That's good to note. Now the firewall, DEA Ryzen attack gains, or active I should say, gains 50% total damage reduction. That makes you a little more tankier. That means you could take more hits, and that means that you are able to survive a little bit better because you have that reduction, that debuff right there. That's really good. I shouldn't say debuff. Damage reduction is the correct word. Now, stream transfer. DEA Ryzen active when not riding. Each charge attack performed gives 5 SP and a 15% ice damage buff. Max damage buff stacks 3. So that is really fantastic. So that means that each charge attack that you perform, you're going to gain 5 SP, which is really great. And then a 15% ice damage buff with a max damage buff stacks of 3. So if I'm not mistaken, that means you can get up to 45% ice damage buff. So that is awesome. That means you're going to be able to do more damage right there. Really good. Now moving over to the ultimate. I believe this is the ultimate, right? Yes, this is the ultimate. Cyberangel.cfg burst transforms of Project Bunny. That's basically the description of the ultimate that I went over earlier. So moving over to the fast decryption. Usagi Kinetic charge attack gains 20% all elemental breach buff. Now I'll be quite honest with you, my boys, I'm not sure what breach buff actually means, so if you can leave that in the comments below, that'll be fantastic. That'll help out other individuals who may not know that. But basically you're gonna get an elemental buff. And then we have the underclock Usagi Kinetic. Boys, these notifications are coming in left, right, and center. I just cannot, I don't know why they're coming in right now while I'm trying to do a video, but they are coming in crazy. Anyways, we're gonna keep it moving. So we were talking about the underclock. Basically is another damage reduction, and this is to indirect damage. So basically damage that are coming from different angles, that are not coming facing forward. You're going to take 30% less of those damages that are coming from your side or from your rear. So that is awesome. That's another good damage reduction. Now the rebuild.exe Usagi Kinetic at below 50% HP, heal 40 HP per half second. At below 25%, heal another 60 HP per half second. Now I don't know if that stacks, if that's 40 on top of 60, which it kind of sounds as if it is, because it says at below 25% heal another 60 HP. So it sounds like it might be a total of 100 HP that you're healing if you're below 25%, which is really good. But if not, below 50, you're doing 40 per half second. At below 25, you're doing 60 per half second. That's phenomenal. So that really caters to that survivability for Cyberangel Bronya. So That's awesome. Now moving over to the basic attack, it's a 4-sequence attack. The first sequence, 100% attack of physical damage plus 80% attack of ice damage. The second, you're doing the same 100% attack of physical damage, but your ice damage increases by 20% to 100% attack of ice damage, plus you're going to get 25 charge. Awesome. Now the third sequence, you're doing 150% plus 150% attack of physical damage, so that gets buffed, plus 2 times 100% attack of ice damage, that gets buffed, and then plus another 25 charge. Fantastic. And then the fourth sequence, the drills deal 8 times 40% plus 200% attack of ice damage, and you're getting a plus 9 times 25 charge, pulls in nearby enemies. So when you're doing the drill, you're going to be doing more damage in general, plus you're getting more charge back, and you're going to be pulling the enemies in, which is a great crowd control. So keep that in mind on your 4-sequence basic attack. Now the cracked construct, shockwave after the drill attack inflicts a 6-second analyze debuff to enemies hit. So remember those analyzed enemies that you hit with that debuff, you're going to be able to do more damage to in general, just a buff on that. So this is going to go ahead and put the analyze debuff on them for 6 seconds. So that is really good. Now power link, if drill attack hits, then gain 0.5 SP. So you're going to be gaining a little bit of more SP if the drill hits. And then the stop array, when performing drill attack, become immune to front side and flank attacks. Backside attacks also suffer 30% total damage reduction. So when you're doing the drill attack, you're basically having damage reduction on all fronts, which is again catering to her survivability. So you can see how tanky she really can become with all this damage reduction. And so it's going to be very difficult to kill Cyberangel Bronya. She's going to be a tanky Valkyrie for you. So that is always a good thing. Much like Ice Rita, when you do her ultimate, she gets a massive damage reduction and barely takes any damage, and you're able to just really shred the enemies. I could see this being very similar in a lot of ways. Now, if we go over to her evasion, instant freeze, quickly evades enemy attacks, ultimate evasion plus 120 charge, and next attack inflicts a 4-second analyze debuff to the enemy. Instant freeze, ultimate evasion generates a 3-second time fracture, cooldown of 15 seconds. Now, if you have Cyberangel Bronya at SSS rank, freeze threshold reduces instant freeze cooldown by 1.5 seconds. Instant freeze time fracture also inflicts a 6-second analyze debuff to the infected enemies. So you're going to be going ahead and putting on another analyze debuff. So now you're starting to see different ways that you can go ahead and give the enemy the analyze debuff to where you can then start doing more damage. There's multiple different ways, and you could probably stack those different ways as well. So you're really going to have an enemy analyze debuff for multiple seconds. Really great, because then you're going to be able to really output the damage. Now the emergency damper, triggering instant freeze, also heals 400 HP. So by triggering the ultimate evasion, you're going to be getting health back. If instant freeze is not in cooldown, instant freeze can be manually triggered by evading within a short time after being attacked. That is phenomenal. So if you saw, not my last video, but the video before that, my first one of the beta, I was fighting the Dirac C boss, and on that fight, when the boss actually hit me, I went to go evade, but I did not evade in time. The boss still hit me, but we still triggered the time fracture. So that means, if I'm not mistaken, again, you can correct me in the comments below. I could be completely mistaken about this. I have to play with her some more. But from what I understand is you can even get hit for a split second if you just time it perfectly. You get hit and then you do the ultimate evasion right at that point. You can still trigger the time fracture, which is really good utility right there. That means that you are able to, you got more frames where you can go ahead and trigger the time fracture. That's awesome. But I could be mistaken. Let me know. Now the QTE, Data Storm. QTE triggered when an enemy is paralyzed or by time fracture. Deals 500% attack of physical damage, plus 500%, plus 300% attack of ice damage. You get 120 charge and inflicts a 6-second analyze debuff. So another way to analyze debuff. And this is triggered when the enemy is paralyzed or time fracture. Really, really good ways to go ahead and trigger a QTE. So that's good. And that is her skill set, my boys. That is all that really entails Cyberangel Bronya, the Herrscher reason. She is fantastic. Just going over her skill sets, they sound really good. She sounds very tanky. She sounds very strong and possibly OP. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think about her. And let me know if you enjoy videos like this. I'm not sure if you guys do. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoy analyzing Valkyries, going over their movesets, going over their weapons and stigmatas. I mean, I enjoy doing videos like this. I enjoy going over the Valkyries, especially when I can do it early and give you guys a bit of an insight to see whether or not you really want to go hard for her, or if you're going to summon at all. Maybe you decide this is not really for you and you're going to save and wait for something else to come around the corner. But let me know in the comments below. But that was my character analysis slash breakdown of Cyberangel Bronya. Keep in mind, like I mentioned earlier, not necessarily a character guide. I do want to go ahead and play with her some more and get a better feel. But as of right now, that is what I have for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like what you saw today. And until next time, my boys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. And until next time, my boys, until next time, it's your homie Cody GT, and I'm out.